Good afternoon, traders. It's Bill Baruch with Blue Line Futures, and this is the FX Rundown. We're seeing the dollar index get out above 98. Still a lot of headwind up here, but it's been a very constructive path. Now the euro is below 110, and there is a lot of support down there. A major three-star support, 110.20 up to 110.50. This is the lows that we've seen here over the past couple of weeks. The same way the dollar index has put a high in just above the 98, and you have a ceiling there. Now, there really wasn't a whole lot of news to move the market. The British pound sold off sharply early this morning as Brexit remains in the news, but it did come back. It doesn't look like there's going to be a no-deal Brexit. Ultimately, though, you're seeing it weigh on the euro. You're seeing the overall sentiment data on the week start to weigh on the euro. Nothing really exciting coming out that should lift the euro. There's no catalyst to rally it. That's what we've been really talking about in the written section from Monday and carrying it into today. Tomorrow there is quite a bit of data though. You have German CPI, you have French GDP, you have a couple numerous regional numbers coming out of Italy. You have consumer data as a whole coming out of the Eurozone. So a lot of that's going to move the market. No really big reads though. And then coming out of the US, you have the second look at US quarter 2 GDP. Supposed to be coming down a 0.1%, down at 2.0. Weekly jobless claims. You have wholesale inventories. So there's a lot coming out today with a 5-year note auction, then a 7-year note auction tomorrow. Again, no major piece of data. Richmond Fed president. Speaking of Fed manufacturing was better than expected yesterday, but Richmond Fed President Barkin did talk today. More of that wait and see. How did this first rate cut affect the market and get digested? So he's not a voter though, so it's not really going to matter what he has to say here in a few weeks at the Fed meeting when it comes to a vote ultimately. San Francisco Fed President Daly, she speaks tonight, 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Again, she's not a voter either. But there's no ultimate catalyst moving the markets. We're seeing the dollar there isn't anything to knock it down, and that's really why it's sort of rising. But it's not holding gold back. It did hold the yen back today. The yen lost some ground. 94.37 is the pivot in the yen. It's back below there just by a hair. A lot of support though below 94 in the yen. The yen is struggling to gain additional ground given the fact that the dollar is not losing ground. So keep that in mind as you're trading the yen. And then losing further ground today is the Aussie and the Canadian dollar. The Aussie construction work data last night missed widely. You have some expenditure data coming out tonight out of Australia. It's just ultimately the trade war is weighing on the market. But where the rise in equity markets weighed on the yen, you're not seeing the Aussie or the Canadian capitalize on a better risk sentiment that is seen in equities. It's not seen in the currency side. You're seeing it in some of the commodities. Again, you're not seeing it in the currency side. And the Canadian, another dull session. So really that proves that what we did see in a rally early this week, potential bottom of the Canadian, totally neutralized. We do GDP data on Friday coming out of Canada, and that's going to really leave an emphasis. Where does that Canadian finish on the weekend? There's too much risk going into one number to really have a strong opinion here, given the fact the Canadian dollar could not get out above 76 on what was a potential another bottom at the 75 level. Give us a call though. We're here to talk about anything on the board. Here to help you. 312-278-0500. You can email us info@bluelinefutures.com. You can check our website for updates. You can sign up for a free trial of our research there. But remember, futures trading involves substantial risk of loss. It is not suitable for all investors. Thanks a lot.